The day has come. On my piece of paper, I've drawn out. Okay, first, you may or may not know this about me, but I'm not like, I hate math. I'm not the greatest at math. You know, our teachers told us back in the day, you're not going to have a calculator everywhere you go. You're going to need to learn how to do all this. No, we do have a calculator everywhere we go. Thank God. But I was sitting at my son's track meet a couple nights ago, and I brought all of my stuff, because track meets, they have like hours of time where your son, excuse me, ma'am, no kitty, my cat. Coco, stop. So my son will go through like hours of time where he's not doing anything. Other races are going on, so I brought my planner with me so that I could map out everything. What can be planted by other things, what shouldn't be planted by other things, what the spacing requirements are, what needs to be trellised, where it should all go. And I was like, this is my worst nightmare, because it's like one of those equations. Like, Timmy has 8 3/4 rows that are all 110 feet long, except for the last 3/4 row. But Timmy also has 17 varieties of vegetables he needs to plant. Some of them need 12 inches. Some of them need 18 inches. Some of them need 24 inches. Some of them need 32. Some of them need 48. Some of them need 64. Some of them are vining. Some of them are not. Some of them are bush. Some of them are not. It's like, okay, now put them all together. Some of them are best friends. Some of them are enemies. Yeah. Mathematical nightmare, but I did it. So that's what we're going to start doing today. We're going to burn the holes, and I'm going to see how far I can get done. We also had an unexpected project come up, because I came home the other day and Kim's goats had gotten out of another section of fence that we haven't redone. It's an old wire fence. So I honestly think I was being protected. Like, God protected me or something, because I had not yet put my garden in the ground. I wanted to, but I ran out of time. And they ended up eating some of my other stuff, which is okay. It's replaceable. But I was telling Buddy, like, if I would have put my vegetables in the ground and the goats would have gotten out, like, just commit me. Just put me in a hospital or something. I know that's dramatic, but still. So we're going to reinforce the fence with cattle panels like we did the back fence. We're going to do the side fence now. And that should be anywhere that they can get out that would come this way to the garden area. So that's going to be a next step. Right now, that hole that they made is temporarily patched, so I feel okay, because we're getting our shipment of materials in this evening or tomorrow. So we should be able to get it all fixed relatively quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and start this and bring you along with me. Okay. The first row, I'm going to do zucchini every 24 inches. So I've got my long tape measure out, and I'm going to go ahead and string it along and then burn holes every 24 inches. This is exciting, y'all. Well, no. Okay, every 2 feet. Let me just show you what we're working. Let me show you some of the problems that we're encountering already. basically my torch is not working when I turn it over, so I have to keep it upright, and it's causing it to go out every few feet. So that's issue number one. Issue number two is that the material seems to catch on fire pretty easy. Sometimes there's like little grass pieces underneath, so it kind of like ignites it and then it spreads. So you really have to pay attention to your hole. Sometimes you might have to stomp it, because then I looked back and some of my holes are a little oddly shaped. And Coco, kitty kitty, no, no Coco, Coco. And I'll show you that in a little bit, but I'm learning from my mistakes on this first row, and hopefully my mic stays charged. Yeah, it's still on. And I'm just going to keep on going. I'm almost done with this row. And then we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so first row's done, and I'll show you some of the hiccups. That one started to continue to burn, and I didn't know about it until I turned around. This one too. That one. But I started to pay attention, and they're spaced out every 2 feet, all the way down. And this is going to be zucchini. And the following row over here is also going to be zucchini, and or carried on for 2 zucchini, and then the rest is going to be squash. And what's nice about that is that this row is also going to be 24 inches. It's going to start to get a little tricky when some of the rows need to be like 24, then 18, and then 48, and all in one row. So that's going to be a little bit more, I'll have to pay attention to that. But so far it's it's going. Okay, I have a helper.
Ready to swat fires.
He's gonna be my fire putter outer. I hope you're in frame.
I'm ready.
Gotta talk loud though, because there's no mic.
I'm ready.
We're ready! Okay, 2 rows down. I'm gonna go ahead and start planting. And I'm gonna, once I'm done with these 2 rows, then I'll move over and burn the next 2 rows. So get that going now. Are you ready? Am I ready? I have this pretty cool little thing Buddy got me a long time ago. You just push it in the ground, pull it up, and then it releases the dirt. So I'm gonna try it on these holes when I plant my zucchini and squash. When we were walking them over here, I'm embarrassed, like, at the shape that they're in. I don't even want to show you because some of them are already putting off zucchini, like little baby zucchinis, and they've all outgrown their pots. I'll just show you. Look at these guys. They're like, help! Yeah, I'm trying to find the one where I found that little zucchini growing. I don't know, it's in here somewhere. When I find it, I'll show you. But I've got a lot to clip off and trim. I'm gonna go ahead and get them in the ground though. These guys, these stalks are so thick. They are ready to be planted. So we are going to, these are the ones that actually had the frostbite. And I had to trim them up. And they have really thick stalks. So that's cool. But I've got my work cut out for me. So I'm going to get going. Okay, it's taking me quite some time, but I have separated all of the Ford Hook zucchini from the black BB zucchini. And I'm going to start planting because they are drying out already, and don't want them to be in too much shock. I'm not here. Here's the deal. I'm not saying at all that I have regrets. I don't have any regrets. What I am saying is that I'm keeping a mental track or list of things that I would do differently next time. Do I regret anything? Absolutely not. But let's go down row 1 because we're done with row 1. Just like when we repotted or potted up, some are doing better than others. This is all zucchini. So I expect there's going to be quite a bit of shock. And the high for today is really in the low 80s. So it's not that hot outside. But I will tell you that this tarp is pretty warm to the touch. Well, because it's black. But I've watered everything when I planted it. I'm gonna have to come back by and trim up some stuff that has some wilted yellowing leaves. I don't want the plant to expend all of its energy trying to repair those. But I'm gonna come back by and also snip off all these flowers and these fruit, like these vegetables that are starting to produce. Look at this. Do you see that? That is a zucchini trying to grow. And I'm going to have to cut that off because I want it to focus on roots. Especially that I just transplanted. I want them to really dig deep and establish their roots before we worry about any flowers, any fruits setting. We have plenty of time for that later. So some of these have a lot of flowers on them. And we'll do that later. Right now I'm just focusing on getting them in the ground because, as you can see, they're way too mature for the pots that they were in. And somehow I missed it, but some of those down there were in those tiny little pods, tiny ones. There was a whole 10-pack of them that I missed. They were in these, look. This one I didn't plant because it was like nothing there. Yeah, I missed a flat of that. So the majority of them were in the bigger pots, but some of them I missed and they're in little pots. So, yeah, let's just say a prayer for these and we will keep an eye on them. Yikes. I know some of you are going to be like, Stephanie, you need to plant at the very, very beginning of the day, or you need to plant at the very end of the day, and not at the heat of the day, not in the middle of the day. But listen, I can't. First of all, if I waited to plant till the end of the day, it'd be 10 o'clock at night when I get back from baseball. That's not happening, okay? First thing in the morning, I've got to get kids dressed and ready to school. I got to take care of myself. I've got stuff I have to do. I actually work. So 5 and 6 a.m. planting is not an option. So I plant as early as I can and then hope for the best. Right now it's 1:45. So I've got all these over here. I may try to hold off on these until the evening time and just see if I can figure it out, because it's becoming really hot. We're gonna be approaching the heat of the day, and I really don't want their pots to dry out while they are waiting to be transplanted. So that might be what I do. Just wait until the evening. And I think only Connor has baseball tonight, so possibly Buddy will take him and I'll be able to do the rest. But I already have my holes made, so I might actually do that. I might just like hold off on planting anymore and just continue to do my holes and keep an eye on these guys. So we'll see.